Good evening, sir.
Check your audio and video settings.
Oh, okay, sir.
Is all of you in mute mode? I'm starting the session.
Oh, okay, sir.
See, listen. See here. So in the previous session, we clearly discussed about features of C language. So what are the features of C language? The C language is the general purpose programming language. Means using C language, we can develop many kinds of applications like business, scientific, mathematical, and graphical applications. So that's why it is called general purpose. So middle level programming language means the C language has both high level language features and low level language features. Using high level languages, we can develop application software only. High level languages are suitable to develop application software. Low level languages are suitable to develop system software. High level languages are programmer friendly languages. Low level languages are device friendly languages, machine friendly languages. But the C language has both high level language features and low level language features. It can directly communicate with the hardware and it is programmer friendly. And using C language, we can develop system software as well as application software, both. Using Java, we can develop application software only. We cannot develop system software. But using C language, we can develop system software as well as application software, both. So that's why the C language is called middle level programming language. And modularity means we write the program in the form of functions. C program, we write program in the form of functions. We write program in the form of functions. Advantages are we can understand the code easily. Decreases length of code because we write code only for one time. But we can use that code for any number of times by calling. So automatically decreases length of code and it allows reusability. And next feature is portability. Portability means the C program developed in one computer can run on any computer, even if operating system is same or different. Extendability means we can add our own header files to the C library. C library is a collection of header files like math.h, string.h, stdio.h. So this is C library. I am adding my own header file through the soft header file. Like this, we can add our own header files and we can extend the C library. This feature is called extendability. C library is the collection of header files, where header file is a collection of predefined functions. Predefined means already defined. Who defined? C language developers defined. So all related functions they placed in particular header file. All mathematical related functions they placed in math header file. All string related functions they placed in string header file, like that. So till here we discussed in the previous session. So today's session is very, very important session. Pay attention and listen carefully here. Now I want to talk about structure of C program. Observe structure of C program. What is the syntax of C program? See here. Generally, the C language has modularity feature, means we write the program in the form of functions. Already we discussed here. Modularity feature. Modularity means we write the program in the form of functions. Module can be also called as function. So add function, product function, like this we can define any number of functions. Okay, so even if you don't, and now I explain clearly about structure of C program. Even if you don't understand, this structure of C program, no problem. Because after completion of course, you will get clarity on the structure of C program. After completion of functions chapter, you will get clarity on the structure of C program. Try to understand. I give complete syntax. So we write C program in the form of functions. To define the function, we have to follow one syntax. What is that syntax? We write return type. Then here we give the function name. Then in the brackets, we write parameters. This is called parameter list or argument list. Okay, so specifying parameters is optional. To indicate optional, I use tab braces. Okay, then starting point of function, ending point of function. In between that, we write the statements. So using this syntax, we define the functions. For example, I want to add two numbers. So I'm giving function name as add. So two numbers I'm taking here, integer numbers, int x, int y, starting point of function, ending point of function. So like this, we define the function. After completion of half course, you understand this. Okay, so like this, we define the function. So this is what add function. We are adding two numbers here. Okay, so this is called function. Add function. So here add is the function name. Int x, int y are called parameters. This return x plus y is called statement. So this function is returning integer value. So int is the return type. This is the starting point of function. This is the ending point of function. Actually, to define the function, we follow this syntax. So this is the syntax to define function. This is the syntax to define function. This is the example. So here we define the functions like this. Function 1, starting point of function, ending point of function. In between that, if you want to declare the variables here, we can declare in the first line only. So that is called local declaration, and we write some statements. So to define this function, we have to follow this syntax. I'm not writing completely here. So like this function 1, okay, function 2. This is function 2. Function 1, function 2. Like this, we can define any number of functions. We can define any number of functions in the C program. Okay, so finally, we define main function, starting point of main, ending point of main. Here, if we want to declare any variables, we declare here. That is called local declaration. Here we write some code. Main is also a function. We write the code. But for the main, return type must be int. In the modern C, return type is int only. In the older C, main can have return type as void or int. But in the modern C, return type is int only. So main can take two arguments, but giving those arguments is optional. So to indicate optional, I use these symbols. Square braces means the meaning is optional. We are using square braces means the meaning is optional. We are using angular braces means any. In the syntaxes, generally we use them. In the programming, whenever we explain the syntaxes, we use these symbols. Okay, so we are using square braces means the meaning is optional. We are using angular braces means the meaning is any. Here return type, any return type, angular braces I am using, angular brackets I am using, return type, any return type, function name, any valid name you can give. Parameter list, any parameter list, and giving parameters list is optional. So that's why I'm reusing these symbols. Okay. So here we are writing program in the form of functions, function 1, function 2. So like this, we can define any number of functions. Finally, we define main function. This main can take two arguments. First one is integer type, and second one is character pointer array type. Okay. So generally, argc, char pointer, argv. These are the names. Okay. So giving these parameters is optional. Main can take two arguments. So this is the structure of C program. So we write C program in the form of functions. Okay. So to define the function, which syntax we have to follow? This syntax we have to follow. Function 1, function 2, function 3, function 4, like this we can define n number of functions. Finally, we define the main function. The main function, if you want to declare any variables, we declare. Here we invoke the functions. Here we write the code, and in the code we invoke means call, invoke the functions. Sometimes if you want to declare any variables globally, we can declare here. That is called global declaration. Global declaration. Sometimes if we want to declare functions, we declare here. That is called function declaration. And sometimes we write preprocessor directives. Preprocessor directives here. Preprocessor directives. So sometimes we write preprocessor directives, global declaration, function declaration. We define the functions. And finally, we define the main function. For the main, return type is int. In the main, we write some code and we invoke the functions. This main can take 2 arguments. This is the structure of C program. Even if you don't understand this structure, no problem. So when we are writing the program, slowly you understand it. Okay, this is the complete structure of the C program. So we write C program in the form of functions. This feature is called modularity. Okay. So like this, we can define any number of functions. Finally, we define main function. From the main function, we invoke those other functions. Sometimes we write preprocessor directives, global declaration, and function declaration. To define the functions, we follow this syntax. This is the syntax. This one is the example to define the function. Okay. Now I want to talk about this main function. Okay. In starting classes till functions chapter or till control structures chapter, I write only one function, that is main function. So that's why I want to talk about main function now. So what is this main? To indicate function, we use this opening parenthesis and closing parenthesis. So what is this main? Main is a function. What is main? Main is a function. Main is a function in which we write set of statements. In which we write set of statements. So main is a function in which we write some set of statements. And this main is entry point of the program. This main is entry point of the program. Okay, this main is entry point of the program. Every program execution starts from main only. So I'm calling this main as the entry point. Main is entry point. Entry point of the program. Main is entry point of the program. Okay, each and every program execution starts from main only. Each and every program execution starts from main function only. So what is main? Main is a function. Main is a function in which we write some set of statements. We are writing some statements. We are declaring the variables. We are writing some statements. We are invoking the functions. So main is a function in which we write some code. So this main is the entry point. In the program, many functions are there. You can write hundreds of functions, thousands of functions in a program. But program execution starts from where? Main only. Because this main is the entry point. Main is the entry point. Every program execution starts from main only. Even if the program has 100 functions or 1000 functions, 50,000 functions, always program execution starts from main only. Because this main is the entry point of the program. Okay. In modern C, return type of main is int. It cannot take wide. In the previous versions that can take wide, int both. But in modern C, Return type of main is always int only. And it can take two arguments. It can take two arguments. First one is int type. Second one is string array type. Character pointer array type means string array type. Okay, that part I discussed in the command line arguments concept. Just try to understand main can take arguments also because main is the function. A function can generally take arguments. Here, add function take two arguments x, y. Like that, main can also take two arguments. One is integer type. Another one is character pointer array type means string array. Later I discuss about it. Just remember that main can take arguments. That can take two arguments. One is integer type, another one is character pointer type, means string array type. Okay, this is about main. So what is main? Main is a function. In that we can write some set of statements. We can write the code, and this main is the entry point of the program. Every program execution starts from main only. For the main, what is the return type? Int. Okay, for the main can take two arguments. First one is integer type, second one is character pointer array type. Okay, when we pass the values from command prompt, from MS-DOS command prompt, we use this concept. We take arguments. Specifying arguments is optional. Okay, so now see where we write the program. 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 We can write a C program. Where we write the C program. We can write a C program in any text editor. In any text editor, like in any text editor, like in the notepad you can write, in the wordpad you can write, the notepad you can write, in the wordpad you can write, in the MS Word you can write, and you can use the IDEs like developer C++, like developer C++, code blocks, okay, edit plus, notepad plus plus, such type of notepad plus plus, such type of text editors you can use. So one text editor is required and C compiler is required. So where we write the C program? In the text editor. Okay, so what are required to write C program? What are required? What are required to develop C program? To develop C program, okay, one text editor is required. One text editor required, and another one is C compiler is required. C compiler is required. So one text editor is required and C compiler is required. In the text editor, we write the program. C compiler compiles the program, and operating system runs the program. Okay. So where we write the C program? In the text editor. Okay. So what are required to develop the C program? Text editor and C compiler. So in the starting classes, I use developer C++. Okay, I use developer C++. Then how can we install this software? Let me explain. See here. So just simply in the Google search bar, type developer C++. DEV C++. Developer C++. Okay, this is one IDE, or you can say SDK. SDK stands for Software Development Kit. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. I use developer C++. Okay, there is displaying the first link, sourceforge.net. So go to this website. Okay, click on download and install it. Click on download and install it. That's it. Okay, so this is the one fast and simple C++ IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Integrated Development Environment. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So click on download and install it. Okay, after installing, you will get one icon on desktop. This one is developer C++. Observe. This one is developer C++. Just simply open it. Simply, I'm opening it. Observe. double click on developer C++. So this is called IDE. In this IDE, go to file menu, select new option, and select source file. Go to file menu, select new option, then select source file option. So write the program here. So carefully here. Just now I told that we write int main. So writing all these functions is optional. Writing all these functions is optional. If required, we define the functions. I explained complete structure of C program here. So writing these many functions is optional. So the program should have one function, that is what? Main function. We must define main function. So I'm defining main function here. This is the starting point of main, ending point of main. Okay. So generally, when return statement is there, then we write return type this int. So return integer value. Integer means number without decimal places. So mostly we write return 0. Return 0 means successful termination. Okay, we write like this. Okay, now what will happen if we compile and run it? After writing the C program, so first we open IDE, then we write the C program, then we compile it. Go to execute menu, in the compile option is there. Observe. This program is in high level language. Computer cannot understand it. Okay, so we compile it. Compile. Shortcut is F9. So I'm compiling. So that is asking to save. For our batch, I'm creating a folder in the F drive. In the F drive, I create a new folder for our batch. I'm creating a new folder, CLang 6, C language batch 6, 6 PM batch, CLang 6 I'm giving. Okay, so I am giving this file name as hello.c, hello.c I'm giving. So program saved. Okay, so now see, that is compiled. Already we selected compile option. So that is asking to save. So successfully saved. No errors are there. No warnings are there. See, compilation result it is giving us no errors. Errors 0. Okay, and warnings also 0. And one output file is created. Hello.exe file created. Hello.exe file created. Observe. I'm opening the folder. I'm opening E drive, F drive. In the F drive, I will explain. I will explain. When we write stdio.h, I will explain. When we write hash include stdio.h, I will explain. Okay, please wait. I cover that point. So CLang 6. Observe here. So this hello.c is what? Source code file. Okay, this is hello is what? Exe file. This hello.c is the source code file. This hello is what? Exe file. Okay, so with this we can understand that after compilation, when we compile the C program, hello.exe file will be created. In the features, I clearly explained. In the portability, I explained. This is the source code, hello.c, source code. After compilation, hello.exe file created. See here. After compilation, hello.exe file created. This is the exe file created. So now operating system runs this exe file. So to run exe file, go to this execute menu, select run option. Shortcut is F10. Okay, that is displaying nothing here. Displaying nothing. Nothing is printed. Observe. Because we didn't write any code here. We didn't write any code. Just I have written for the main return type is int. So it is returning integer value. So return 0 means a successful return, successful execution. It returns 0 value to where? It gives this value to the operating system. Okay, that is the general meaning of this one. So even if you don't write this return 0, no problem at all. Observe. Now once again I'm compiling. Successfully compiled. No errors, no warnings. I'm running. Click on run. Successfully that is running. That's not nothing. It is printing. So no errors are coming. Even if you don't write return. So compiler takes that statement implicitly. You have no need to write. Even if you don't write this return type int, no problem. It will not give any error. Observe. It is not giving any error and warning. I'm running it. See, empty, blank. It is printing. So if For the main, what is the return type? Int. But that is not giving any error because default return type for C language is integer. Remember this. Default return type for a function in C language is int. So for better programming, for good practice, write int main. I always write int main. Okay. I always write int main. And here you have no need to write this return 0. Even if you write this return 0, no problem at all. So nothing will be printed with this code. To explain that, I compiled and I run this one. Nothing will be printed. Now my program is, I want to print hello on output screen. Now my program is, I want to print hello on output screen. That is my program. The program is, I want to print hello on output screen. Please wait. So first program I'm writing, I want to print hello on output screen. So on output screen, what we want to print? Hello. Hello should be printed on output screen. This is our program. So to print hello on output screen, we have to use one predefined function. That function name is printf function. So printf is what? Printf is a predefined function. Predefined, P already defined, already defined function. Who defined? C language developers defined. It's a predefined function. Okay, it is placed in, where they placed? It is placed in one particular header file. That header file name is stdio header file. So .h is the extension. For the songs, .mp3 is the extension. For the movies, .mp4 is the extension. For the paint images, .bmp is the extension. For your photos, .jpg is the extension. Like that, this .h is the extension of a header file. stdio is the header file name. Standard input output. In the previous session, I explained. C library has predefined functions. C library is a collection of header files. stdio is the header file. stdio header file has a printf function, scanf function, putc function, getc function. As per our requirement, we call the function. Now my requirement is, I want to print hello on output screen, so I'm calling the function printf. So this printf is a predefined function. It is placed in stdio header file. Okay. Then what is the purpose of this printf function? This printf function is used to print the data. It is used to print the data on console screen. You can say console screen or you can say output screen. On output screen, that output screen is called console screen. So on output screen, if you want to print the data, we use one predefined function. That function name is what? Printf. Okay. So C language developers defined a function, printf function, by taking some arguments. This is a starting point of function. And they have written some code here, maybe 15 lines code or 20 lines code, we don't know. C language developers defined it. And they defined this function in one particular header file. They placed this printf function in one particular header file. That header file name is what? stdio.h. So we are calling this function from the main function now. From the main function, call this printf function. Hello. Hello. Okay. My network connection was lost. Okay, now see here. Listen. So what is printf? This printf is a predefined function. Printf is a predefined function. It is defined in one header file, stdio header file. What is the purpose of it? It is used to print the data on output screen. So what we want to print now, hello. So to print hello on output screen, I'm using printf function. I'm calling printf function now. Okay. So I'm specifying hello in the double quotes. String must be enclosed in the double quotes. So hello is the string. So string means a set of characters. String means what? String is a set of characters. Set of characters is called string. Here H is a character, E is a character, L is a character, L is a character, O is a character. The set of characters is called string. This string must be enclosed in the double quotes in C language. That's why I'm writing hello in the double quotes. Now, when we run this program, that prints hello on output screen. So actually what we are doing here we are calling printf function. We are calling printf function. So this printf function will be called and it passes this hello as the argument and it executes the code. It prints a hello on output screen. That's the execution process actually. Okay. So now compiler cannot find where this printf function is. Compiler cannot find where this printf function is. Okay. So we have to write when we use this printf function, where they define this printf function, stdio header file. So when we use printf function, here we write one preprocessor directive hash include stdio.h. Hash include stdio.h. Hash include stdio.h. So this one is called preprocessor directive. This one is called preprocessor directive. Preprocessor directive. In the structure of C program, I already told. We write preprocessor directives. So this hash include stdio.h is called preprocessor directive. So what is this hash include stdio.h? Let me explain about it. So here, what is this stdio.h? stdio.h is the header file name. stdio.h is the header file name. This is the header file. Okay. So to specify the header file, we use angular brackets. So to specify the header file name, we use angular brackets. In these angular brackets, we specify the header file name. So to attach this header file code, this header file has some code. Maybe 300 lines code is there in the stdio header file. So this stdio header file has some code, maybe 300 plus lines code is there. I want to include that code in the program. So for that, we are instructing to the compiler that hash include we are writing hash include stdio.h. So before going to compile, first it attaches the code which is in the stdio header file. So with this statement, what happens here? stdio header file has a 300 lines code. That code will be attached. So stdio header file code will be attached. Header file code will be attached, included with this statement. Okay. So with this preprocessor directives, what happens? It attaches stdio header file content. That's it. I'm writing the program, new program. Observe carefully here. See, int main, starting point of main, ending point of main. Here I'm writing the printf function. Printf. Hello, I'm writing. Printf. Hello, I'm writing. Observe. Okay. Now, if you compile this program, what happens? Observe. Execute. Compile. That is giving one error. Incompatible implicit declaration, that is giving error as incompatible implicit declaration of built-in function printf. Built-in function, predefined function can be also called as built-in function. So what is printf? Printf is a built-in function. predefined function can be also called as what? Built-in. Built-in function. Built, already built. Built-in function, already they developed. Already that is built. So you can call built-in function. Already that is defined. You can say predefined function. So printf is the built-in function or predefined function. So where this printf is there, that is not my thing. So that's why here what we write hash include stdio.h. Now it will not give any error. Now I'm pressing F9, successfully compiled. Observe. No errors, zero warnings. Zero errors, zero warnings. Observe here. Okay. So hello.exe file already created. Now I want to run that hello.exe file. So go to execute menu, select run option. So what it is printing now? Hello. Hello is the output. To print hello on output screen, which function we are using now? Hello. So every program execution starts from main. So here program execution started here. First statement is printing statement. On output screen it is printing hello. Next return 0 means it comes out of the return is the jumping control structure. Return means that comes out of the function. So it comes out of the main. Now operating system displays output to us. Hello. Hello is the output. Okay. So did you understand this program? Please all of you give the response. If you give the response, please type the response in the chat box. If you understand, I go to the next concept. Yes, Pawan, did you understand this? Did you understand this program?
Sir, no, sir.
No.
Sir, I will explain, sir.
Okay. Okay, I will explain. No problem. See here. Listen carefully. Nothing is there. See, the point to understand. Pay attention and listen carefully here. Okay. Concentrate here. In C language, to print the data, we use one function. That function name is printf. So whatever you want to print, that data we write in the double quotes. Remember this. For example, I want to print good morning. So write printf good morning. Okay, I want to print welcome on output screen. So what we write? Printf welcome. Okay, I want to print hi on output screen. So what we write? Printf hi. So whatever we want to print on output screen, we write in the printf in the double quotes. Okay, so from where we have to call this printf function? From the main function only, because main is the entry point. Every program execution starts from main. So in the main, I'm writing printf hello. That's it. Only two statements are there. Only one statement is there in the main. For every program, we write main only. Okay, actually for the main return type is int. Okay, and we in function can return the value. Function can return the value. So to carry a value outside of the function, generally we use this return 0. If you don't want to write, you have no need to write, no problem. If you don't want to write int, don't write int, no problem. You simply write this one. So main is the entry point of the program. Printf hello means that prints a hello. That's it. Okay. So this part I'm writing. Observe now. You have no need to write this return 0. Maybe you are getting confusion with this return 0 and with this int. Don't write those. I'm writing this much only. Okay. Now observe carefully. What is there? Printf hello. So whatever you are writing in the double quotes, that will be printed on output screen. We are calling printf function. From where we are calling? From main function, because main is the entry point. Why we are calling from the main? Because main is the entry point. Program execution starts from main only. So here we are using printf function. This printf function defined in stdio header file. So here we must write hash include stdio.h. So printf function has some code. That code will be attached here. So here you are calling printf function. So that printf function which is in the header file will be called here. And that executes the code on output screen. It prints hello. So to execute this program, what we do? Go to execute menu, compile. Successfully compiled. Go to execute menu, run. Okay. Now what it is printing? Hello. Okay. Pawan Kumar. The point to understand here is to print the data we use printf. Remember this. So, and we are calling that printf function from main because main is the entry point. Every program execution starts from main. This printf function they defined in stdio header file. That's why we are writing preprocessor directive hash include stdio.h. So hash this stdio header file has is equivalent to 300 plus lines code. Here 300 plus lines code is there in this stdio header file. To attach that code, we are writing this hash include and we are specifying the header file name. So this 300 lines code plus this 4 lines code is our program now. So total 304 lines code is there, maybe 300. If 300 lines are there in the HTML header file, the 300 lines plus this 4 lines, 304 lines. Observe here, I'm opening older C language. It's not latest, it's the older one. In this, it shows how many lines compiled it will display. Observe. I'm opening new file here. This is the older Turbo C editor, Turbo C++ editor. Here I'm writing the program. Writing main. Okay. I'm writing int main return 0. Okay, observe. Here I'm writing printing statement printf hello. Where this printf function is available in the stdio header file. Okay, so if you write like this, it will give error. So to compile, we press Alt F9 in the older version. Alt F9 I am pressing. That is giving an error here. What is that error? That is not finding. Printf should have prototype. That is not finding where this printf is. So this printf is in stdio header file. So we must write hash include stdio.h. Now observe carefully here. Okay, so without this statement, first I am compiling. Observe carefully. Alt F9 I am pressing. So here observe that is displaying lines compiled as 3. Alt F9 I am pressing. Lines compiled that is displaying as 3. So here how many lines code is there? 3 lines code is there. Okay. So now I'm writing this printf function included in stdio header file. So write hash include stdio.h. Now I'm pressing Alt F9. Observe here lines compiled it is displaying as 313. Lines compiled it is displaying as 313. Okay, so nearly 310 lines code is there in the stdio header file. So this one single statement is equal to 310 lines code. Nearly 310 lines code. So this is 310 lines code plus this code is our program now. So that's why it is displaying 313. We have written only 4 lines, but that is displaying 313 means remaining 309 or 310 lines code is attached from stdio header file. Did you get my point? Okay, so very clearly I explained. I hope you understood. Okay, this printf function is used to print the data. Remember, whatever the data we are typing in the double quote, that will print that one. So this printf function defined in stdio header file. So we must write hash include stdio.h. If you are getting confusion with return, don't write. If you are getting confusion with return type print, don't write. Just simply write main, starting point of main, ending point of main, in between that write printf function. Whenever we are using printf function, we must write hash include stdio.h. So to compile this program, go to execute menu, select compile option, F9. To run this program, go to execute menu, select run option. That is running the program, that is displaying output as hello. Okay, if you want to compile and run using single command, compile and run option you can select. Shortcut is F11. So simply after writing the program, you can press F11. That compiles and displays the output. Okay, Pawan. Pawan, did you
Okay, sir.
understand? Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Now listen carefully here. So this printf is the predefined function included in stdio header file. This is used to print the data. So printf function is used to print the data. Okay. So now see about escape sequences. Next topic is escape sequences. Escape sequences. These escape sequences can be also called as backslash characters. Escape sequences can be also called as backslash characters. So just now I told that whatever we type in the double quotes that will be printed. So to print a hello on output screen, what we have written in the double quotes, we have written hello. The double quotes, if we write hello, what it will print? Hello. Okay. The double quotes we are writing hello means that prints hello. Okay. I'm writing in the double quotes, I'm writing hi. Now what it will print? Hi. Hi will be printed. In the double quotes, I'm writing welcome. Now what it will print? Welcome will be printed. Okay. Now in the double quotes, I'm writing double quote hello. Now what it will print? Is the response. Now what it will print? In the double quote, we are writing hello means that is printing hello. In the double quote, we are writing hi means that is printing hi. In the double quote, we are writing welcome means that is printing welcome. In the double quote, we are writing double quote hello means what it will print now?
Hello.
Okay, let me explain. Soumya Anjali, what it will print? Okay, let me explain. Pawan Kumar, be in mute mode.
Sir, okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, so what it will print? Let me explain. So it will give error. It will give error. So why it will give error? Because this double quote is non-printing character. We cannot print it directly. This double quote is non-printing character. Non-printing character. We cannot print it directly. Remember this. So like double quote, several non-printing characters are there. Then how can we print the double quote? If you want to print the double quote, we write slash double quote. If you write slash double quote, this will print double quote on output screen. So this slash double quote is called escape sequence. So what is escape sequence? Actually, escape sequence is the character constant. Constant means it has fixed meaning. We cannot change it. Escape sequence is a character constant. Okay. What is the purpose of it? It is used to print. Escape sequence is used to print non-printing characters. It is used to print non-printing characters. Non-printing characters. What are those non-printing characters like? Okay, double quote is a non-printing character. Single quote is the non-printing character. Slash is the non-printing character. Okay, changing line is the non-printing character. So to print non-printing characters like this, we use escape sequences. Okay. So escape sequence has a slash and a following character. We write slash and a character will be there. This escape sequence has a slash and a following character will be there. And a following character will be there. It has a slash and a following character will be there. Observe. So if you want to change the line, we use slash n. So slash n means that changes the line, new line. For new line, we use it. Okay. Slash T means tab. To get 5 spaces horizontally, we use slash T. Okay. Next is slash A. If you want to get beep sound, alert beep. When we switch on the system, one beep sound will come. One sound will come. When we switch on the system, one sound will come. That is called beep sound. So to get beep sound, we use slash A. When system displays the warnings, one sound will come. So to get beeps, to get just a minute. To get beep sound, we write slash A. For backspace, we use slash B. Slash B means backspace. To print a double quote on output screen, write slash double quote. Double quote will be printed. To print single quote, write slash single quote. Single quote will be printed. To print slash, write double slash. Slash will be printed. These are the escape sequences. So this is escape sequence. And its meaning we are writing in the next column. So these are the escape sequences. Okay. Escape sequences. These are the escape sequences. So to change the line, we use slash n. To get 5 spaces, we use slash t. To get beep sound, we use slash a. For backspace, we use slash b. To print a double quote, we use slash double quote. To print single quote, we write slash single quote. To print slash, we write double slash. Observe here, I'm writing one program. See, listen carefully. So you install developer C++ in your computer. After that, open the developer C++. Okay, open new file. Go to file menu, select new option, select source file option here. Okay, here write main, starting point of main, ending point of main. For the main, what is the return type? Int. Okay, but the main return type is int. Even if you don't write, no problem. Okay, for good practicing, write it. Okay, now I'm writing like this. Printf. Hello, I'm writing. Just now we have seen that hello means that prints hello on output screen. This printf function included in which header file? stdio header file. So here write hash include stdio.h. So stdio header file contains 300 plus lines code will be attached here. So that 310 lines plus this 4 lines code, nearly 313, 314 lines code. I want to compile and run now. So just directly I'm pressing F11. Program that is asking to save. I'm saving this program with the name ESDemo. ESDemo means escape sequence demo. .c. See what it is printing? Hello. Hello printed. Hello printed. Okay. Now after that, I'm writing another printing statement. Observe carefully here. Printf. I'm writing hi. I'm writing welcome here. I'm writing welcome. I'm writing welcome. So now where it is printing? Observe. I'm pressing F11. Where it is printing? Observe. So beside of hello, that is printing welcome. Beside of hello, it is printing welcome. But I don't want to print like that. I want to change the line. In the new line, I want to print welcome. In the new line, I want to print welcome. So to change the line, we use slash n. Slash n means that changes the line. So you, after hello, you can write slash n. Or if you don't write here, before welcome, write slash n. That changes the line. So hello will be printed. Then slash n means it changes the line. After that, welcome will be printed. Observe, I'm pressing F11. Now see, welcome printed in the new line. Okay, so slash n means it changes the line. You can write here or after hello also you can write. After hello, I'm writing slash n. So hello will be printed. Slash n means the cursor moves to next line. Slash n means the cursor moves to next line. In the next line, welcome will be printed. See, hello printed. In the new line, that is printing what? Welcome. See what it is printing. Hello, welcome printed. Hello, welcome printed. Okay. Now observe carefully. I want to print like this. Welcome to Durgasoft. Welcome to Durgasoft. After printing welcome to, I want to get 5 spaces. So what I'm writing is /t I'm writing. So /t means it gives 5 spaces. Observe, I'm pressing F11. Observe the output. After printing welcome to, it is giving 5 spaces. 5 spaces we are getting here. Okay. So to get 5 spaces, we use /t. Then I want to get beep sounds. So to get beep sounds, after that I want to change the line. So to change the line, I'm writing /n. I want to get beep sounds /a. I'm writing /a. I'm writing 3 times. 3 beep sounds will come. Okay, hi I'm writing. Now hi will be printed with beep sound. Okay, just a minute. It is giving one error. So semicolon we didn't write. F11 I'm pressing. See, sound came. So to get the beep sound, we write /a. /a means that changes that gives the beep sound. Okay. Then printf in the new line /n means in the new line. I want to print a hello in the double quotes. I want to print hello in the double quotes. So to print first double quote, write /double quote. Then to print hello, write hello. To print another double quote, write /double quote. Now observe, I'm running the program. Now hello printed in the double quotes. Observe here. Okay. If you write a double quote directly, it will give
Hello,
error. Yes.
sir.
Yes, Pawan.
సార్ డీప్ సౌండ్ అనేది దేనికి యూజ్ చేస్తారు సార్?
వార్నింగ్స్ ఏమైనా డిస్ప్లే చేయాలి అనుకోండి.
ఆ,
ఇప్పుడు మనం పాజిటివ్ నెంబర్ ఎంటర్ చేయమని అడిగినాం, మార్క్స్ ఎంటర్ చేయమని అడిగినాం. ఆయన
ఓకే
పాజిటివ్
సార్.
మార్క్స్ ఎంటర్ చేయాలి. నెగిటివ్ మార్క్స్ ఎంటర్ చేస్తే బీప్ సౌండ్ రావాలి.
ఓకే సార్. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్.
So to get warnings, we use it. Okay, please be in mute mode.
ఓకే 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 సార్.
Here, what I'm doing is here to change the line, I'm writing /n. Okay, so here if you write a double quote, if you want to print hello in the double quotes, if you write double quotes directly, it will give error. Observe, it is giving the error. Okay, so if you want to print double quote on output screen, write /double quote. One double quote will be printed now. /double quote means one double quote will be printed. After that, hello will be printed. To print another double quote, write /double quote. Okay, now compile and run. F11 I'm pressing. See, in the double quotes, hello is printed. Now I want to print a hi in the single quotes. So to print hi in the single quotes, write printf. To change the line, write /n. / single quote means one single quote will be printed. To print a hi, write hi. To print another single quote, write /single quote. Okay, press F11. Observe hi printed in the single quotes. I printed in the single quotes. Okay, then I want to print / on output screen. So to print / on output screen, to change the line, write /n. To print / write double / here. / will be printed. After that, I want to print n. So /n will be printed now. Observe. Press F11. See, /n is printed. This is the output of this program. So if you want to take screenshot, you can take the screenshot of this program. You can practice it. So install developer C++ software and practice it. Okay, so this is about escape sequences. So escape sequences are used to print non-printing characters like double quote, single quote, changing line, getting beep sound, printing /, getting 5 spaces, etc. These are called escape sequences. I hope you understood. I'm stopping the session now.